push-shove thing that hits Gordon in the throat, and that unleashes the Hulk. Aaron becomes possessed. Harden's fists are balled up and ready to go. But what's this? The Croatian salvation, Ivica Zubac, saves the day by holding Gordon back, and much more importantly, kept Aaron Gordon in the game for an all-time classic. This game was a chess match inside a chess match. For instance, how are the Nuggets going to defend the Clippers pick and roll that's hurt them in the first two contests? Denver tried to throw a wrinkle at Harden in the second quarter and hit him with a surprise double team, but a behind-the-back pass and maybe a little too much help from Gordon left Kawhi Leonard open. Meanwhile, Los Angeles wanted to get Christian Braun off of Harden, so they set a screen for James. Braun fights through it anyway. Michael Porter Jr. is in perfect position, helping off the non-shooter Chris Dunn, but Harden throws this bonkers pass over the top for a Zubac dunk, and this happens because Harden spots Zoo make contact with Porter to seal him. He knows that creates a window over the top, and that's great defense and even better offense. The Clippers used a kind of pre-screen to force Braun off of Harden and then attack a weaker defender and Jokic in the pick and roll. Nikola pushes him all the way to the corner here for another great idea at the rim, but Joker's size threw off this pass. Zoo couldn't handle it, and so the Nuggets can recover and swarm him at the rim, and it's an off-balance shot. And here they use the same pre-screening tactic to involve Porter. Powell blows right by him and sets up Kawhi in the corner for a big three. Harden has hunted Nikola Jokic in pick and roll all series. This help defender is too close to the baseline, so when this pass hits Zubac, he can find the cutter out of the corner. So to avoid these kinds of 4-on-3s when Jokic briefly doubles Harden, they bring that help defender way up to fluster the pass, and here MPJ's guarding Dunn in the corner. They basically don't care if he shoots, so Porter can come jam that short roll up. That extra second lets the defender recover, and it's a turnover. Denver also tried picking up Harden in the backcourt, so the Clippers started screening for him there to shed that defender, with Murray helping. The Beard slams on the brakes, reads Jamal's recovery, and so that stop-and-start hesitation springs him for a layup. And on this one, Zubac really connects on that backcourt pick. That puts the Nuggets in rotation right away. They close to the corner. Gordon steps up in the paint. Murray closes out to the shooter on the wing. And then Gordon is calling for a peel switch. Murray doesn't realize it, and that frees Kawhi, but they dodge the bullet. Whew. The precision at this level is incredible. The Clippers switch so Batum can stop MPJ from screening for Jokic. Porter just slips to the rim instead. Zubac switches to save it, and that little moment gives Jokic the mismatch he wants. The Nuggets clear it out for him, and he's too big for Nico down low. Joker basically took over this basketball game. They're looking for him on the switch. Dunn is pulled over to take it away. Peyton Watson wisely respaces back to the corner. When Jokic sees that, he cuts right across Batum's face for a running shot pass. Oh my goodness. To start the third, the Clippers were still switching that screen. Jokic gets Harden at the free throw line, takes a dribble, and does a Dirk Nowitzki impression. And a minute later, he can just casually make a pass almost no one in NBA history would make, zinging it right over Dunn's head to MPJ for a huge catch-and-shoot three. And Jokic sees Harden pulled over to help, then uses his height to create an angle over Dunn. Chris flinches, he fires it so hard, and that's basically impossible to throw for shorter players. And he then somehow made the exact same pass again a few minutes later for an even harder Porter Jr. three. Next time down, they run a little handoff for Murray. Jokic is open on the pop, but instead drives for a long 15-foot floater. And if that wasn't enough, 2 minutes later does the exact same thing, basically, driving around Ben Simmons off the catch to finish off his right leg with that incredible touch. He actually made 3 of his 6 shots from behind the arc this game, including this absurd movement pump fake 3 in the corner. So the Clippers started adjusting late in the third. They still switched the Jokic pick and roll, but Kawhi doubled on the catch. That actually caught Joker off guard, or he would have hit Watson underneath. Leonard nearly steals it, and then Joker makes an impossible pass to Watson. And he's looking right at Gordon in the corner to move Simmons out of the way. That is just magical. Since that double didn't really work, the Clippers tried trapping the ball handler instead. That just ended up producing a Jokic mismatch against Derrick Jones Jr., and he makes a one-handed catch to spin and finish. Finally, they put Zubac back in the game to defend him. The Clippers avoid the switch on the pick and roll until Jokic spots an opening and goes with a little movement 3 from the top. Then at the end of the quarter, with Murray back in the game, Zubac is thinking, I'm not leaving Joker, so his gravity opens the door for Jamal to get to the rim. The Nuggets pushed the lead to 22 to start the fourth after they let Jokic just isolate in space against Zoo, so Zubac had enough. And the next time down tells Kawhi, you try stopping the three-time MVP, and Leonard does pretty well to force Jokic to adjust and shoot with his left hand. And I think that was one of their last man possessions, because they switched to this funky matchup zone with Kawhi hanging around Jokic's sweet spots near the foul line, and this threw off the Nuggets' offensive rhythm. And it sort of stopped Jokic's scoring aggression, almost like he wanted to pick the zone apart with his passing, and late in the clock, they double him and nearly steal it. Joker's able to recover and avoid the turnover. Brown can't finish it right at the rim, and that springs the Clippers in transition, but Gordon gets up to save the day with a chase down, and then Jokic comes rumbling down the floor to throw a no-look lob that hits Brown's hands to destroy a highlight. Instead of hunting Jokic, Harden then isolates and drives for a crazy and one, and on the other end with the clock running down, Joker has an answer with yet another jumping no-look pass to move a defender, and Brown doesn't bobble that one. Harden's like, don't worry, I have something too, and after hunting this switch all game, he crosses the other way and collapses the defense for a Zubac floater. And a minute later, he snakes around a screen, then cuts back into Jokic for a slithering scoop shot, and suddenly the lead is down to 13. Then the Clippers' other offensive stars sprang to life. Porter loses contact with Kawhi, and that fadeaway's too easy for him. And on the next trip, Harden goes back to hunting Jokic, keeps his dribble alive while they chase him all over the gym. He finally collapses the defense and finds Powell for a huge three, and it's down to 10. Then Los Angeles extends pressure out to midcourt, and suddenly Kawhi jumps Murray, rips him out at the logo, and a vintage claw play cuts it to 8. The next time down, it was Harden again, getting downhill on the handoff and then the aggressive finish in traffic. And while the dam was bursting on one end, that Clippers zone completely took away Jokic's bread and butter actions on the other end of the floor. Nikola comes in to handle things himself with the incredible offensive rebound, and then on the reset demands the ball. Kawhi's glued to him over the screen. He spots a wide open Murray, but Gordon intercepts the pass only to finally move it there and maybe ice the game. But Kawhi uses a high screen and there's no help in the lane from the Nuggets. Powell then pressures Jokic in the backcourt, so he gives it up, and Gordon starts flying down the wing looking for a home run, but Zubac makes a great steal, and now the Clippers have them reeling. Powell attacks Murray's closeout, Jokic needs to help, and Zoo can clean that up. I couldn't feel my legs at this point, and the Clippers keep trying everything, with Kawhi doubling at the end of the shot clock. Murray short circuits and throws it out of bounds, and then just 5 seconds later, it's another half-court screen for Harden. That help we discussed is late to come jam the roller. Zoo sprays it out to Powell, and Norm lives for those shots. The Clippers were just so fast to attack down the stretch. Harden isolates and drives by Murray, everyone's pulled in, and Norm is basically Steph Curry compared to Chris Dunn. And after a controversial Jokic offensive foul, Bogdan Bogdanovic, out there for his shooting and spacing, flies in to steal the board from Nikola freaking Jokic and give LA its first lead of the game. After Joker made one of 2 free throws to tie it, Harden hunts Michael Porter Jr., but the Nuggets don't want to concede that switch. Murray slides up to help, but he's not leaving Powell, so Bogey gets a step and a kick out to Leonard for the lead. And that shot was made harder by Gordon's super high-intensity effort to help in the paint and then sprint full speed to bother Kawhi's release. So off that miss, Jokic says, clear it out for me. The Clippers basically resort to man-to-man principles here, and Joker can go to work, waits for a double that never comes, and Zubac defends it incredibly well until this wacky Sombor shuffle come on.
I'm leaving the building. I quit my job. I've never seen anything like that in my life.
So the Clippers go back to screening for a Harden mismatch so he can work in isolation. Again, that forces Jokic to come over and help, so Zoo is free to tip it in, and we're tied with 8 seconds left. Which means, once again, it is Joker time, and you know how this is going to go. Full-on shades of Lorenzo Charles at NC State in 1983. A buzzer-beating putback dunk, only this one was so close, it's almost impossible to tell if Gordon actually released the ball before the red light flashed. And at the highest frame rates we have, Gordon just gets this out of his hand at the last possible frame to win one of the all-time classic games, 101-99. And in a twist of fate that only the NBA playoffs can provide, Jokic helped Murray on defense, so Zubac could help Harden, only it was Zubac who saved Gordon from certain ejection earlier in the game, only for Aaron to fittingly come flying in for a dunk and win this incredible classic in a photo finish. If you want to work in basketball, I have the place for you. It's Sports Business Classroom's immersive program inside Summer League in Las Vegas. Past instructors in this program have included Commissioner Adam Silver, Mike D'Antoni, and tons of other industry leaders in the NBA and in media. Sign up using the code GREATDAY for $300 off. There's more information in the description box below if you are interested. To support this channel, patreon.com/thinkingbasketball. That's where we have proprietary stats on teams and players throughout the year. We also have a Discord community, and you can get all of our extra video content over there, or sign up on YouTube as a member, where we also live stream the podcast. Thanks for watching all the way to the end on this one. Hope you enjoyed it and that you are having a great day.